Hello everyone, welcome to Yunus English. I brought the exactly same article that we covered last time to read it out loudly. The title is Trump signals interest in restarting talk with North Korea, calling it big nuclear nation. North Korea has less incentive to engage US unless it gains nuclear status, experts. US President Donald Trump signaled his interest Monday, local time, in restarting talks with North Korea, calling it a nuclear nation and revealing there is communication with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. His remarks came in response to a reported question about whether the US may reach out to North Korea. Calling North Korea a big nuclear nation, Kim and a smart guy, Trump said, "We have a great relationship and there is communication." However, he didn't elaborate on how his administration is communicating with the repressive regime. Since his inauguration on January 20th, Trump has repeatedly referred to North Korea as a nuclear power, raising concern that US could be moving toward recognizing the North as a nuclear state armed states. However, experts said Trump's latest comments suggest his willingness to engage with Pyongyang rather than indicating any changes in US policy. Although we cannot rule out the possibility of the US holding unofficial talks with North Korea behind the scenes, Trump is expressing his wish to get Kim to return to the negotiation table, said Hong Min, a senior research fellow at the Korea Institute for National Unification. The White House has not yet unveiled its new policy toward North Korea. Elbridge Colby, the nominee to be Undersecretary of Defense for Policy, and Alison Hooker, Undersecretary of State for Political Affairs, have not been confirmed by the Senate. Washington will take necessary measures once it has a clear direction of policy on Pyongyang. He added that if the US is eager to reach out to North Korea, it could do so through two channels: the permanent mission of North Korea to UN in New York, or Jo Chol-soo, the ambassador to North Korea missions at the UN office in Geneva. Jo is a close confidant of North Korea's foreign minister, Choi Sun-hee, and has taken part in the US-North Korea talks between 2018 and 2020, Hong added. Moon Sung-mook, the chief of the Unification Strategy Center at Korea Research Institute for National Strategy, said the US is trying to send a message to the North that it is open to contact with Kim. I don't think the US has a specific agenda. If the US-North Korea talks are imminent, South Korea needs to closely coordinate with the US on North Korea policy and make sure we are not bypassed, he said. A challenge would be whether the US can simultaneously resolve the North Korea nuclear issue while the Russia-Ukraine war is still far from conclusion. North Korea has less incentive to engage the US because it is now getting economic and military benefit from Russia. There could be no dialogues unless the US recognizes North Korea as a nuclear-armed state. Experts said there seems to be no major difference between nuclear power and nuclear nation. Rather than carrying political purpose, I think Trump is trying to acknowledge that North Korea has advanced nuclear capabilities. It is a message that can make North Korea have high hopes about gaining a nuclear status, Hong said. Moon echoed the view. It is aimed at bringing North Korea back to the negotiation table. The Minister of Unification said it is not in a position to interpret Trump's comments, but said South Korea would welcome the US-North Korea dialogue if it follows a path toward North Korea's denuclearization. North Korea's complete denuclearization is a unified goal of South Korea, the US, and international community, a senior unification ministry official said on condition of anonymity. Alright, thank you so much for watching my video. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.